Hey everybody, I'm Mike DeSepoli and welcome to the Ask the Advisor Show, brought to you by Heritage Financial Advisory Group. Today in episode 83, I'd like to talk about 4 surprising ways to build wealth. You know, our focus is always helping you be smart with your money, whether it's spending, saving, or investing. So these quick wealth building tips should help you get yourself on the right track. The first one is to use a health savings account. Now, many of you might not know what a healthcare savings account is. It's usually something offered through your employer. You're able to defer money from your paycheck into these type of accounts. Now, maybe not every employer out there offers this, but for those of you that have this as an option, most people tend to overlook it. And it's a very powerful tool because it's actually triple tax deferred, meaning you can defer money out of your salary tax-free into these programs. The money then is in these programs and grows tax deferred. And then if you use it for qualified medical expenses, it is a tax-free use of your money. So this could be a very good way to start building wealth outside of your retirement plan, outside of your savings programs that you already have in place. So using a healthcare savings account is one surprising way to build wealth. Number 2, think about buying a modest house in a modest neighborhood. You know, conventional wisdom tells us that we should stretch ourselves to try to buy the most house that we can in the best neighborhood that we can find. But if we look through history, appreciation in real estate barely keeps pace with inflation. And many people think of real estate as a great savings tool. They think it's going to be, the basis or where they get most of their retirement funds from. But the reality is, once you take into account home expenditures, repairs, maintenance, and all those other things that go into owning a home, you're barely keeping up with inflation. And yet many people stretch themselves too far to get into a home that they can barely afford, and then they become what we call house poor, where all their money goes to the home. They really have no money left over to save, to invest for their future, and to spend on things that they enjoy. So let's think about buying a more modest house in a modest neighborhood, because the appreciation in that piece of real estate is going to be the same, regardless of what neighborhood that you shop in. Number 3, people should think about buying fewer cars. Most people don't realize that the average cost of an automobile is somewhere in the neighborhood of $8,700 to $8,800 per year. And this is oil changes, tires, brakes, inspections, registration, you name it. And with the average U.S. driver driving about 15,000 miles per year on average, if you do the math, that's about 50 cents per mile that car is costing you. Now, how can you bring down the cost? Well, you can keep your vehicles longer. Most people keep a vehicle on average of about 4 to 5 years. If you run some quick numbers on it, if you kept the vehicle for twice as long, let's say we keep it for 10 years instead of 5, that could save you about $250,000 over the course of your life. But no, I get it. Most people like new things. They want to get the next greatest edition of that vehicle, whatever it may be. So try to control yourself and think about maybe even if it's just keeping your car for an extra year, that really could add some money to your bottom line. And the 4th surprising way to build wealth is to fund a Roth, whether it's a Roth IRA, a Roth 401k. Many people plow their money into traditional 401ks, traditional IRAs, and I'm a big fan of that. We always want tax-deferred retirement savings, but many people overlook the Roth and the tax favoritism that is within those, meaning you can put money in that is taxed up front, but it's going to grow tax-free, and when you pull it out one day in retirement, it's going to be tax-free as well. Now, of course, there's some restrictions there. It depends on the amount of income that you and potentially you and your spouse together earn. You may not be able to fund a Roth, but if it's something that's an option to you, you should definitely investigate it, because it's just one of many ways that would surprise you that you can build wealth in that way. So we thank you guys for tuning in. Just 4 quick surprising ways for you to build wealth. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We always want to make sure you're getting the most out of your money and increasing your return on life. We'll see you next time.